Good morning, children. How are you? I hope that you are fine. Today we are studying about secularism. Understanding secularism. What is secularism? Secularism here means that our country practice the secularism in our country. The 42nd Amendment in 1976, in 42nd Amendment that practiced the asserted India a secular nation. Now you may ask, what is amendment? Amendment means adding or deleting anything from the constitution. We can call it as amendment. 42nd amendment in the preamble. What is preamble? Preamble means the introduction of the constitution, or the preface of the constitution, or introduction of the constitution. We can call it as preamble. In that preamble, in the 42nd amendment, in that preamble, that says India asserted India a secular nation. Now we want to know about the importance of secularism in India. In this 42nd amendment that was passed in the year 1976, then that preamble says that asserted that India a secular nation. Secular nation means we are giving importance to all religions. No religion is superior, no religion is inferior. It means that all religions treated equally. All religions are equal. All religions are equal. That we can call it as secularism. In a secular nation, we never promote one religion. All religions they are considered equally. In India, all religions are considered equally. All religions are given equal preference given to all religions. No religion is superior, no religion is inferior. All religions treated equally and giving importance to all religions. You can propagate, you can practice, you can put forward your ideas. There is no problem in our country because our country is a secular nation. As per this, you have individual right. What is individual right? Individual rights means each and every citizen of India they can believe any religion, they can practice any religion, they can propagate any religion, but never harm to other religion. That's all. You can believe any religion, you can practice any religion, you can spread your ideas in that religion, but you never hurt any religion. You never hurt any religion. That's all. So that secular nation give importance to all religions. They consider equally. All religions are equal. All religions are considered equally in a secular nation. Our country giving importance to secularism. And which is the biggest democratic country in the world? Which is the biggest democratic country in the world? Yes, your answer is correct. India is the biggest democratic country in the world. When we consider about all other countries, India has been considered as the biggest democratic country in the world. And we are practicing democratic secularism. Then what is democratic secularism? Democratic secularism here means all religions are considered equally and all religions have equal powers and all religions enjoys rights. All religions they enjoy rights. Which rights? Religious rights. They can practice, they can propagate, they can spread, and they can believe in any religions. That individual rights is there. In this matter, individual rights is there. The state never interfere the affairs of any religion. I hope that you understood. The state government never interfere the affairs of individual rights of believing in any religion. You can believe Hinduism, Christianity, Islamic religion, Zoroastrianism, Jainism, Buddhism, Jewish religion, or whatever may be, you can believe in India. In India, you can believe any religion and any religious sections. That will not harm to any other peoples because you have individual right. You have individual right. As per your right, you can believe any religion, any religious practice you can do it. But one condition is that you never add to any other religion. Suppose if you belongs to Christian community or Hindu community, you never interfere the affairs of other religious peoples and never threaten them or never voice against them. They can practice their own religion, they can worship in their temples, they can worship in their mosque, they can worship in their church, they can worship in their own worshiping centers. So there is no problem for you or me to propagate or believe any religion in our country. So that you understood the importance of individual rights. Another thing is that each and every person enjoys the religious section, and state never give importance to a particular religion. All religions are treated equally, and moreover in government schools, then colleges, then other educational institutions, then courts, then police station, everywhere you know that everywhere giving importance to all religions. Suppose if you did any mistake, if you belong to Christian community or Hindu community, that never consider about your religion. As per your crime only you will get a punishment. Not giving these institutions never give importance to any particular religion. You understood now? State never interfere in this matter. Moreover, institutions also never give importance to a particular religion or a particular. This is the majority community. So that these people only we will give importance. So that people will come, we will respect and we will give importance. Other people will come, we will punish them. No. All sections of the people they have equal rights. And never considered one religion superior and another religion inferior in our country. In our country, all religions they can practice equally. All religions are equal. No religion is superior, no religion is inferior. That is system of government that is existing. That is why in the 42nd Amendment that was passed in 1976, as the preamble says, asserted that India is a secular nation. Next, you know that importance of secularism. What is the importance of secularism? Secularism had great importance in India because in India several sections of the peoples are there. Several religious belief peoples are there. They can worship their own God. Many gods, we are worshipping many gods. If I worship one god, that doesn't matter to another person. Another person can worship 100 gods. That doesn't matter. Another person can worship any other religious god. So they have the right to worship any god or any religion, and they can practice that. But one thing you remember that even though you have freedom to worship, practice and give importance to your religion, that doesn't matter. But at the same time, you remember one thing that never hurt the feelings of other religious sections people. Never hurt the feelings of other religious sections peoples. That also included secularism. Another thing is that never forcibly convert the peoples to their own religion by threatening. Sometimes if you will not join our religion, we will kill you. That never say. Because here our country is a secular state or secular nation. Our country is a secular nation. So that all sections of the people, they can live freely and they can maintain religious harmony. Now, what do you know about religious harmony? Yes, religious harmony here means all religions they can maintain friendly relationship. What is that? Friendly relationship. All religions they can maintain friendly relationship in India. That now you understand that importance of religious harmony. In a secular nation, giving importance to religious harmony, that is nothing but harmony in India, harmonious relationship in India, good relationship with other religions. Suppose the best example school. We can take the best example school. In schools, you know that many students they are coming from different backgrounds, different sections, different religious belief. Hindu student, Christian student, Muslim student, Parsi students, Zoroastrian students, Jain students, and different sections of the children. They are sitting together. They are sitting together. They are dining together. Dining together here means they can eat together and they can share their food items to each other and they can eat together. In schools. In schools they can share, they can sit together, they can study. There is no kind of restrictions in schools. And schools will not say that only Christians community can only study, only Hindu community can only study in our school. No, all sections of the people they can study and they can study in schools and they can sit with other students. These other students never say that I am a Christian, you keep away, never say. I am a Hindu, you keep away from my space. No, they never say like that. Because here exists, they know very well, even children also know very well that we are maintaining a friendly relationship with the other sections of the people. And even parents also have proper awareness that different sections of the people may come to your school. You never show any kind of partiality. Even parents, they may say to the children. Other than the schools also give importance to religious harmony. They give importance to all religions and they practice all religions. Moreover, during the religious festivals, like you know that religious festivals that will be celebrated in India. Which are the religious festivals that are celebrated in India? You know that Christmas celebrated, Onam celebrated, and other kinds of these Holi, Diwali, and these different religious festivals that practiced in India. What it shows? It shows that our country is not giving importance to one religion. Our country is giving importance to Christians, Muslims, Parsis, Jainis, Zoroastrians, Buddhist, or whoever may be, they belongs to any community, that doesn't matter. We will be in India, we can practice and we can celebrate their religious festivals also. So here exists religious harmony that exists in our country. More than 130 crores of people, they are living in India, and these people, they are maintaining harmonious relationship. You imagine that more than 130 crores of people in different sections, if communal rights is there, our country can't exist. Because one community will say that we are the majority, and you are minority. You go away from India, they may say. Another community may say that they may be giving importance to their own religion and say that our religion is the best religion, other religions are inferior religions, so they may fight. If 130 crores of people, they may fight each other, we cannot exist in our country. But our country, you know that giving importance to democracy, that is why we say that our country is the biggest democratic country in the world, and we are giving importance to democracy in religion also. Democracy in religion, all religions are considered equally. We are participating. If you belongs to Hindu community, you are participating in you know that Christmas celebrations. Even Christian community, they are participating on festivals. So religious festivals, so Onam, Holi, Diwali, all festivals we celebrate together. All the sections of the community, they gather together, they celebrate together, and they give importance to religious harmony. That is the importance of secularism in our country. So secularism gives importance to religious harmony, and all sections will be given importance. We are giving importance to humanity rather than religious belief. Importance to humanity. We are all human beings. So we give importance to humanity rather than you belongs to Christian community, you belongs to Hindu community. That doesn't matter. If you belongs to Hindu community or Christian community, if you belongs to Islamic community or other community, you are all considered equally. We are all considered equally. We are all people of India. We are all considered as the people of India. We have the strong feeling that all religions are equal, and we are giving importance to secular nation. We are giving importance to secular state or secular nation. So we respect other sections people's their belief, their way of belief, their religious festivals, we give importance to all these things. We are giving importance. And next we want to study about the differences. If I am describing about the differences, you can easily understand how much freedom we are enjoying in our country. How much freedom we are enjoying in our country. Now let us discuss the difference between the states in state in India as well as state in Saudi Arabia. So let us describe about India and religious practice in Saudi Arabia. India and Saudi Arabia. Let us discuss about India and Saudi Arabia. In India, you know that India gives importance to democratic secularism. At the same time, Saudi Arabia never practiced democratic secularism. There, you know that kingship existed. Kingship or monarchy existed in Saudi Arabia. At the same time, India, you know that we are giving importance to democracy, democratic country. India, a democratic country. At the same time, Saudi Arabia, monarchy that existed in Saudi Arabia. So when we consider about Saudi Arabia and India, first thing you understand that in India you can practice, you can worship, you can propagate, you can spread your religion, no problem at all. But when you go to Saudi Arabia for a job, that time you have to keep the rules and regulations of Saudi Arabia. Otherwise, you can't live there because you are violating the rules and regulations of Saudi Arabia because there exists kingship. If you go there, suppose if you are in India, you may be a Hindu. When you reach Saudi Arabia, if you carry this Ramayana or Mahabharata or Bhagavad Gita, definitely you will get a punishment because carrying these kinds of religious textbook, they will be punished. Suppose this, you know that this the kingship there exists. Moreover, that their religion is Islamic religion, so that they never allow you to carry that Ramayana, Mahabharata or Bible in that country because that leads to punishment. Because their law that says that you never carry Bible, Ramayana, Mahabharata or such kinds of religious textbook. One thing. Another thing is that if girl children, they will go to school, definitely they have to wear abaya. What is abaya? Abaya here means totally from head to that top to bottom they wear a particular kinds of dress material that you have to wear. So that you have to, these girl children, they have to cover their body with these kinds of abaya or this dress material you have to wear. Next you have to wear the scarf. Scarf also you can wear the scarf. So that you have to follow these rules and regulations. Suppose if you are from India, I am from the biggest democratic country, I won't wear this abaya and I won't wear scarf. I belong to Hindu community. Why I wear this scarf and this abaya? If you will tell, definitely you will be punished. Because you have to, when you are in Saudi Arabia, you have to follow the rules and the regulations. Now you understood the importance of democratic country like India. How much freedom we are enjoying. Next is that you know that so that all girl children, they must wear abaya and they must wear a scarf and they will go to school. Then only they will be allowed to go to school. Suppose if you belong to Hindu community or if you belong to Christian community, also if you are in Saudi Arabia, if you are a lady, if you are in Saudi Arabia, if you are a girl, definitely you must wear this abaya, you must wear this scarf, you must wear these kinds of dress materials. Why? Because you are forced to obey the rules and regulations of Saudi Arabia. You are forced to, because that is kingship. That is different from our country. Our country, democratic country, and we have democratic secularism. But in Saudi Arabia, that won't be existed. So you must obey the rules and regulations of that Another thing is that during the time of Salah, you know that you during the time of Salah, suppose you may be from any other community, non-Muslims. If you are a non-Muslim, you must sit in your home during the time of Salah. If you are a non-Muslim, you can sit in your home during the time of Salah. Suppose if you go outside, you don't know the rules and regulations. You are a new person in Saudi Arabia, or you are a new person in Saudi Arabia. Sometimes you may not know about the rules. Sometimes you may go to the road. That times there is Muttaba. Muttaba means that a religious leader, they will go in that vehicle and announce that Yalla Salah, they may announce. Once they announce Yalla Salah, it means that you go to your home, you go from this place. Afterwards, when they return the same vehicles, you are standing there without minding their weights. Definitely you will get a punishment. Even though you are a non-Muslim, you don't need to go to the mosque, but it says that you must sit in your home during the time of Salah. During the time of Muslim worship, you must sit in home. Other than this, during the time of Salah, no shop will work during the time of Salah in Saudi Arabia. When Salah started, they have to shut down that shop. They must shut down that shop, or they must close that shop during the time of Salah. During the time of Salah, they close that shop. After they will go, then if they belongs to Muslim community, they go to mosque and they worship there. After that, they can again reopen that. After the Salah, they can reopen it. So in Saudi Arabia, we must follow these kinds of rules and regulations. In India, you may be Hindu or Christian. When you go to Saudi Arabia, you say that Salah or anything at all, I belongs to Hindu Christian community, so I have my own individual rights. That is in India. You follow these rules in India. So you won't get any kind of protection from the rules and regulations. You never get any kinds of protection from the law, because the law is against you. When you are in Saudi Arabia, the law is against you, because you must follow the rules and regulations of Saudi Arabian government. Why? Because Saudi Arabian government, that is a monarchical form of government. Monarch means king. What the king will say, that become the rule and that become the law. Whatever he may say, that all these other sections of the people, so all people, other section I mean, so all people, all subjects or all people, they must obey the words of the ruler. Suppose if the ruler says anything wrong, also we must support it. Suppose by mistake he said wrong law, practice a wrong law, that is against the people also. Whatever he will say, that become the law. Whatever he will say, that become the law. Because that kingship that existed, what the king's words become the law. So that we must obey the laws of that country. Suppose if you say that, okay, I will not obey the words of the ruler, definitely you will be considered as anti-socialist. You will be considered as against the rule of that government. Definitely you will get a punishment. As per their Shariat law or as per the law of the Muslim community, definitely you will get a punishment. First of all, try to understand the difference between the rule of law in Saudi Arabia and rule of law in India. If you want to go Saudi Arabia, definitely you must understand about the rule of law in Saudi Arabia. Then you must follow all the rules and regulations of Saudi Arabia. But in Indians' rules and regulations, if you think that Indians' rules and regulations are same like this in Saudi Arabia, definitely you will get a punishment. Because here we have enough freedom. We can conduct dharnas, hartals, strike, demonstration. If it is this possible in Saudi Arabia? No. It is not possible in Saudi Arabia to protest, to conduct hartal, to conduct strike. That is not possible in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabian government, you must all the rules and regulations of Saudi Arabian government. You must follow the rules and regulations of Saudi Arabia. So that you know that individual freedom was given to secularism. In a secular nation, individual freedom was given much importance. You know that each and every individual, they have the freedom to worship, to practice, and to participate in the festivals. They have participated religious festivals. They can participate in religious festivals. They can propagate their religion. They can spread their ideas. So individual freedom was given importance, and state never interfere the affairs of individual rights. State never give or state never involved or interfere the affairs of individual rights. Individuals, they can worship, they can practice, they can propagate their religion, they can practice their own religion. So that individuals, they have full freedom is there. Then afterwards, now we are discussing about that India and Saudi Arabia. That you know that Saudi Arabian government, they follow according to the rules and regulations. That may be against secular nation. That may be against a secular nation. But there exists, you know, that monarchy or monarchical form of government. The ruler enjoys power, and the people, they have to obey the rules and regulations of that country, or the ways of that ruler. Whatever the things that said by the ruler, people, they will obey. What the ruler will say, people obey that words of that ruler. Who obey the words of that ruler? People. People obey the rules of that ruler, or people obey the words of that ruler. The words become the rule. Whatever the king will say, that definitely become the rule, and that definitely become the law, and people, they will obey that. Suppose if that ruler or the king says anything harmful to the society or the people, so that the people, they cannot conduct dharnas or strike or hartal in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabian government does not allow the people to conduct hartals, dharnas, processions, strike, etc. But in India, suppose if that government is against the people, they can protest, they can conduct hartal, they can conduct dharnas, they can conduct processions, and at the same time, so the government will look after all these things. They keenly observe, they notice the reaction of the people, and suppose if people are against the government, if the government understood in India, the government understood that people are against the government, so that they can do one thing. They can do one thing that they can change their policies and decisions in India. This may happen in India. Suppose if that Indian government, they put forward a new law that was against the wishes of the people, that was against the people. People definitely will conduct a strike. People will conduct dharnas. People will conduct processions. Definitely, people will people will be against these kinds of laws. They may come forward. They may conduct hartals, strikes, dharnas. Definitely, they may conduct. So that the government will rethink whether we have to change the new policies or decisions. They have to rethink it. After rethinking it, if they found that we can change the decisions and policies, so that they may change their policies, they may correct or they may change their policies, they may change their new laws. They can change, they can rectify and they can change it. But it never happened in countries like Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, once the law passed, the king passed a new law, definitely all the subject here means all the followers, all the people, they must obey it. They must obey the rules and regulations of Saudi Arabia. Moreover, the people, they can't, sometimes Hindu people may be working in Saudi Arabia, they may be from many other countries, they may be from so many countries, even from India also, people go to Saudi Arabia for getting a job. So that maybe people may be from different countries, so that these people they can work there, but they must follow the rules and regulations of that country. They never be against that government. Suppose if they may hurt their feelings. Suppose if Hindu people they are working in Saudi Arabia, that time the new law passed, the new Shariat law, as per the Shariat law, the new law passed, that may be against the Hindus also. These Hindu people they may not react in Saudi Arabia, because that Saudi Arabian government they are giving importance to monarchy, and the ruler will say they must obey it. Even they may be from India or Pakistan or Afghanistan or Nepal or any other countries in America or any other countries, but that doesn't matter. They must follow the rules and regulations of that country, and what the monarch or the king says they must obey. That's all. That's all. But in our country, they can practice any religion. They can propagate any religion. They can worship any religion. They can believe any religious ideas in India. Now understood the importance of this secular democracy in India. Now you understood about the importance of democratic secularism. Now you understood. So democratic secularism that is existing in our country. At the same time, Saudi Arabia that won't allow such kinds of practices. If anybody trying to protest or mob protest, or people they gather together and protest against the Saudi Arabian government, definitely all these sections of people will be arrested and they will be put in jail, or as per the Sharia they will get punishment. Even though they may be from other country also, they must obey the rules and regulations of that country. The children, they must wear these kinds of abayas and other things. If they belong to Hindu or Christian community also, they must wear. When they are in Saudi Arabia, they must wear these kinds of dress materials. And moreover, they must obey the rules and regulations of the Saudi Arabian government. During the time of Salah, non-Muslims they can sit in home. At the same time, other Muslim communities they may go for worshipping in that mosque. So they must obey all this. And the shops they may close during the time of Salah, during the time of worshipping time, or during the time of Muslim worship. That time 5 times you know it very well. So that time they must close their shop and they can go and worship. If they are Muslims, they can go and worship. Non-Muslims they can go to their home and sit there. After that, after the Salah, after that worshipping time, they can open that shop. So that they must follow all these things, otherwise they will be punished. Moreover, the people they never protest, they cannot conduct hartals, dharna, strike in Saudi Arabia. And moreover, they must obey the recently only a new law changed in Saudi Arabia that ladies they can't drive the car in Saudi Arabia. Earlier girls, so ladies they won't allowed to drive the car in earlier time. Now the law changed. Even ladies also can drive cars. So many laws are now changing. That is changing in Saudi Arabia. But in earlier, all these rules are very strict. Ladies they can't drive a car, and the salary is not the same. Even though men and women they are working the same job, men's salary is something more than that salary of the women in Saudi Arabia. But now some changes that happens. Now things are some changes that happen in Saudi Arabia. Even ladies they were allowed to drive a car, and even these disparities of salary scale also some that will be changing. They are planning to change. So that lot of changes that may happen later. But anyway, the kingship that exists, it never means conduct dharnas, strike, protest, demonstration. They won't allow because that is kingship, and we must follow the rules and regulations of that. Each and every country have their own belief, their own worship, their own rules and regulations. Our country's rules and regulations is entirely different from Saudi Arabian government rules rules and regulations. Saudi Arabian government rules and regulations is entirely different from American government rules and regulations. So each and every country having their own rules and regulations, their own constitution. Suppose if we have a constitution, in that constitution we must obey as per the constitution. At the same time, another country's constitution is entirely different from our country's constitution. You never think that, okay, if we study and learn about our constitution, so that we will go anywhere, the same like that, there also constitution. No. Constitution is entirely different, individual right is entirely different, and fundamental rights also different. India's fundamental rights is entirely different from the fundamental rights in American government or any other government. So each country having their own fundamental rights. When we study about our fundamental rights, we have the right to freedom, right against exploitation, right against exploitation, right to freedom, so that we can this also practice in Saudi Arabia. Is it possible? No, it is not possible in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabian government, what they say is, according to the rules and regulations, you must follow it. Otherwise, what will happen, you will definitely get a punishment, because our individual rights and Saudi Arabia, their individual rights is entirely different. Our fundamental rights, Saudi Arabian fundamental right is also entirely different. Each country having their own fundamental rights, each country is having their own constitution, each country having their own freedom and freedom of choice and religion. In our countries, fundamental rights, if we study and we know about preamble and constitution, all other things, that may be entirely different in Saudi Arabia. If you study all these things, okay, I can also follow in Saudi Arabia, it's impossible, because we cannot conduct the dharma, strike, hardals in Saudi Arabia. Their kingship existed. What the king will say, they must obey it. I hope that you understood the difference between India and Saudi Arabia. So India is giving importance to secularism. What is secularism? Once again, I want to explain what is secularism. Secularism here means all religions that will be treated equally. All religions are equal. No religion is inferior, no religion is superior. Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Parsi, Jainist, Zoroastrians, then Buddhist, all these sections, Jewish, so all these sections of people, they can live in India. They can acquire property, they can worship, they can propagate their religion. So they have enough freedom in India. That is why we may say that which is the biggest democratic country in the world. India is the biggest democratic country. We practice democratic secularism. The secularism has great importance in India. At the same time, Saudi Arabia, it is not possible. I hope that you understood about this. Moreover, I want to tell you one important thing that suppose you may say that the people they are wearing helmet. People they may wear helmet. People they can wear helmet while riding their two-wheelers. That is important. Nowadays we know that two-wheelers, if they are not wearing two-wheelers, those who ride a two-wheeler, those who goes in that two-wheeler, they must wear this helmet for their safety. For their safety, they must wear this helmet. If they forget to wear helmet, or if they won't take this helmet, definitely they will get a penalty or punishment. They will get a punishment. Today, one is very strictly observing this. If even those who sit as per the rider, as well as those who sit back also, they must wear rear side sitting or back side those who are sitting also, they must also wear this helmet. Otherwise, the government will take strict action against such people. Why this government is saying that all people should wear a helmet? Because of the safety of the people. Suppose if a Sikh community, you know very well that the Sikh communities, they have their own turban. They have their own turban. The Sikh communities, they have their own turban. Turban, that is, you know, that in their head they wear this turban. That is a cap. Pagir, we will say that pagir. Pagir or turban, they will wear this pagir, or we can call it as turban. So that they are not wearing helmet. Suppose if they are police say that why don't you wear helmet? Police never say. Why police never say to this Sikh community, why don't you wear helmet? The main reason is that our country, you know, secular nation says that they can propagate, they can practice as a part of their practice religion, as a part of the practice as a religion, they must wear this turban. They must wear. The men always will wear. Sikh people, Sikh community or Sikhism or Sikh community, these people wear turban, that is pagir. This pagir they can wear. That times no police will ask why don't you wear helmet? Because if they wear this pagir, they are practicing their religion. In India, anybody can practice their religion. That is our, that is here secular nation. That is practicing secular nation. So that police never stop them. Why don't you never ask the question? Why don't you wear helmet? We want to punish you. Never police never said, because police knows this rule that in India that they can practice their religion, because it's a part of their religious part of their religion to wear turban. All the men should wear turban. That is the part of their religious practice. So that is given freedom to religious practice, so that they can wear. In India, the Sikh communities, they can wear this religious practice as a part of this practice. They can wear turban or pagi, so that nobody will stop them. No police will stop them, and no police will say that why don't you wear this? Why don't you wear this helmet? Why you are using this pagi instead of helmet? They never ask such a question. The main reason is that we are giving importance to democratic secularism. So government, then even government schools, you know that government schools, all children can study in government schools. Schools best examples of secularism. Why I say so? Government schools, consider about the government schools. Government schools, all sections of the people they are getting admission. Scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, tribal peoples, other backward communities, rich people, poor people, all sections of the peoples they will get admission in government schools. Government schools, they are practicing secularism. They won't stop any student if they belongs to lower community that they never deny or never reject admission. They never reject admission. If they belongs to scheduled caste or poor peoples, whoever may be rich or poor, they never consider. All sections of the caste or people, they will get admission in government schools. Just example, government schools. Government schools, SC, ST, OBC, other backward caste, they will get admission. And do not promote any one religion. And schools do not promote government schools, especially government schools. They do not promote any religion. They promote all religions equally. They give importance to all students equally. No student is inferior due to particular community. All community peoples they are giving equal opportunities for their studies. Equal opportunities are given for their studies. Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Parsi, Jainist, rich, poor, ST, ST, OBC, whoever may be, they can sit together, they can dine together, they can share their food items. So that in that schools that practice religious secularism. Religious secularism that is practiced in India. Constitution, you know that our constitution bans untouchability. There are a lot of social evils that practiced in our country. Untouchability, unapproachability. So these kinds of social evils that practiced in ancient times. In ancient times, when we consider about India, in ancient times there existed untouchability. So here now says that untouchability is a crime. Untouchability is a crime. Nobody will practice untouchability. In 1848, untouchability that was totally banned in 1849. In the year 1949, untouchability that was totally banned. Untouchability was totally banned in India in the year 1949. So that nobody can practice untouchability. Those who practice untouchability will be punished because untouchability is a crime now. Untouchability is a crime now. So you know that untouchability is a crime now, and nobody practices this untouchability. Everybody should practice religious secularism in India. Everybody can practice their own religions. Muslim, even schools also. Schools also, as a part of school also, you know that Muslim girls, they can wear scarf. They can wear scarf. No school will say that why you are wearing scarf in our school? This is a Christian minority school. This is Hindu majority school. They won't say like that. So they can wear this scarf on their head. They can wear this scarf so that they can study along with other students. They can study. They can wear scarf because we practice religious secularism. Religious secularism, or say our country is secular nation, so that our country is a secular nation. Secular, this untouchability that totally banned in the year 1949. When untouchability banned? 1949. What is secularism? I want to revise once again. What is secularism? Secularism here means all religions are treated equally. Considering all religions equally, that we can call it as secularism. Considering all religions equally, that we can call it as secularism. No religion is inferior, no religion is superior. All religions are equal. In India, we practice the religious harmony. What is religious harmony? It means that friendly relationship with the other religions. Is it possible to maintain friendly relationship in India? Yes, it is possible in India because our country gave importance to secularism. In 1976, when our country says that our country is a secular nation. Our country is a secular nation. I am going to wind up the session. I hope that what is secularism, what is the importance of secularism, why we are practicing secularism in India. I hope all these concepts you understood it very well. Thank you, children.